What's up, y'all? Welcome to another day of our Empowerment Week. We are so excited to be talking about living and leaving a legacy today. And we are thrilled to have and to host the one and only Chisa Egbelu. And he is the co-founder and CEO of Petal, a platform for students to raise money for college and scholarships. He's a public speaker, a journalist, a musician, a producer. He's got bars, so I'm not going to try to rap today. I'll leave that to him. But we are so excited. Chisa, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Hey, so good to have you, have me. I really appreciate you even just having me in mind. Honestly, this is really fun.
Hey, man, we're so excited to hear about your story. And speaking of story, what is yours? Tell us.
I guess my story, the 30,000 foot abbreviated version is I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
I was born in Pennsylvania, grew up in Baton Rouge. I was there for like my K through 12. And then I went to college at the illustrious Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Nice.
And that's what brought me up here to the Northeast. While I was there, I studied journalism and media studies. Really just got deep into broadcast and really learning how to properly tell stories and narratives. So while I was there, started working at, my very first real internship was at the radio station on campus.
Nice.
And from there, learned how to really cut sound, cut video, put things together. Then took those talents over to the Political Institute right across on campus, where I just learned how to do it a little better. You know, we were dealing with election stuff, polls, and really learned how to ask questions properly and how to prime and not prime certain answers in a particular way. So that helped me on going to the next one where I was at. Where was I? I was at Z100, Elvis Duran, the morning show. So it's like Power and Breakfast Club, Power 105 and Breakfast Club, all is. And that taught me a whole bunch of stuff too. Of course, everything's such a crazy learning lesson. And then from over there, went over to MSNBC at 30 Rock. I was at a show called Morning Joe.
Nice.
Where I was working over there. That taught me a whole bunch of stuff. And then from there, went over to Google where I was working their marketing, stuff like that. And then somewhere in that little time period, we had started the company that we're working on now. You know, it was just an idea that we had, and we built on it. We just met in the student center every Sunday from like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., either learn how to code things out or write business plans or just ask people if they thought this was a good idea. You know?
Nice, man. So I'm now intimidated because I am now interviewing a professional journalist who's probably grading me on my interview skills.
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you very much. My ego is now ready, equipped.
You deserve that.
Yes.
You deserve that ego stroke. You deserve it.
Thank you for being so gracious, man. So you've done so much. You are a storyteller, a journalist. So how did you pivot into Pedul? Like, what was it like building a business geared towards outcomes and not just the income?
You know, when it came to Petal, the whole reason that it was started was because our friends kept on dropping out of school, right? Like, people would take a semester off and they just never come back. And it wasn't because they were getting in trouble, their grades weren't bad, but it was simply because they couldn't afford it. So we said, let's do something about this. And the purpose of the business, you know, in its forefront, it wasn't like we can make so much money off of this. It was, hey, we can make this thing. And in my head, right, it was, let's make this. And then I'm going to go back to my jobs. Like, I'm going to go back to my internship. I'm going to go get this job. And I'll go, you know, prototypical 9 to 5. I was very happy for it. Yeah, I worked really hard for it, I felt. And so it just so happened that, you know, a lot of times when you do things with really pure intentions and just go after a mission, everything else really dominoes and spirals in a certain way. And so that's what took place with us. You know, before we even had a product out, you know, the way the story worked was we were just meeting every Sunday, right? We're journalism students for the most part. Some of our friends wrote a story on us. So that story got aggregated onto another website. And then these kids over at Rutgers Newark who had created a startup. I know this is about to be weird, so tell me if it gets confusing. These kids at Rutgers Newark were creating a startup that connected college startups to capital.
Wow.
But they could only get their funding from their investor if they could prove that they could do it with one company. So they reached out to us, asked if we could be that prototype company for them. We sat down with them, put together a portfolio sheet, just, making us look nice. They shopped it around to different corporations in Newark, and we got a call back from one corporation called IDT. And they called us, they're like, can you come in for a pitch for an investment meeting? We went in, this is during finals. So obviously I'm like, are you serious? I was like, come on now. So went in there and we were 45 minutes late. All right. Traffic was crazy. We had to park like 2 miles away because we couldn't find any parking. Parked at a random Burger King.
Wow.
Walked through this area super late. Got there, gave the worst pitch of our lives. And it was just an abysmal showing. We shook hands. We're like, hey, great. Talk to you later. My co-founder, she's like, I read it never works on the first try. And then we just left, went back, had an exam that night, took it, didn't think twice about it. Then we got a phone call the next day saying that they wanted to invest. And that's kind of how it's kind of like, oh, we should maybe think about taking this a lot more serious.
Wow. So when preparation meets opportunity. Wow.
Truly.
So we all know, those who go to college, those who've attended college, who are dealing now with the game of loans, college ain't cheap. So how does Petal work? Like, if I'm a student right now, how can I get some of that money, bro?
Say that. Hey, if you are a student right now looking for some cash monies, what you do, you go to petal.com and you fill out and you sign up, and you're going to see a bunch of scholarships that are perfect for you. You apply to all of them. And the really good thing about our platform is when you come into our system one time, we're going to start alerting you, pinging you when perfect scholarships are there for you. And because we have a common application feature, you can do that one application and you can use that to apply to all of these other scholarships. So you don't have to start from scratch every time. And, scholarships are really hard. You open like 70 different tabs and you're like doing all that, and you only end up doing like 8 because 70 is a lot. So with our platform, you can use that same application. The most you'll have to do again is like supplemental questions that each organization might have.
Nice. So why do you feel that it is so important to give back? And how do you feel that social entrepreneurship can really change the world?
Yeah. People really don't realize, and it's not of any fault of their own. A lot of times it's a lack of exposure, but they don't realize that you can do good things and make money at the same time. Sometimes you just have to get really creative with your business model, but it is possible to create a self-sustaining organization that can add positivity to the world, but also make money. And so it's really great when you can do both, because if you're able to make money, you don't have to constantly ask for things like donations or write grants. Obviously, when you get into the tech startup game, you're dealing with investors and accelerators and things like that, which is, you can say it's a similar game, but it's different because of the equity and things like that that's actually exchanged. So it's really a lot easier to create something that can support itself, because it doesn't have to consistently run into this barrier of, please, can you donate $20? Can you donate $30? Right? You can exchange value for capital, and it can have its own legs.
Yeah.
And what was the first question again? I'm sorry.
First question was, how important it is to give back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we're seeing, I don't know when, someone might be playing this back in a couple of years, but we're in the midst of the Corona crisis right now.
2020 right now.
2020. What a year. Yeah. History books. So, Corona is a pretty good example of why giving back is necessary. If hygiene and soap and just basic necessities like healthcare and things like that are readily available for everybody, well, then no one can get infected because everybody actually have optimal health.
Right.
And so sometimes it can be counterintuitive to realize that contributing to your environment, your community can better even your own individual life. And from a Petal perspective, we really do believe that a more educated world is a better world. And, you know, it's really clear to us that educated doesn't always mean college. Right?
Well,
Education can come in all forms. We just want to make sure we're here whenever the financial need is there, or when the financial need, it can be a barrier to getting that education. So if that's trade schools, if that's cosmetology school, etc., reach out to us. You know, we definitely want to be part of that journey.
awesome. Yeah, man. So there are people who might not feel called to go to college, but they might want to be a plumber, you know.
Yep.
It's okay. Just
plumbers are doing well right now.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Making bank. And so
bro.
don't be fooled. There are people who have college degrees who are idiots.
Mm-hmm. I done met a whole lot of them.
Yeah. So a college education is not synonymous with being educated.
Completely true.
You can be learned no matter how much schooling you have.
And it doesn't matter which, you know, there are some people that are currently in community college that are geniuses. There are some people right now that are at Harvard that are very dumb. God bless both of them, but just don't get it twisted.
Right. So next question. A legacy is defined as a gift which is passed from one person to another. And I believe that the work that you're doing with Pedul is legacy work. And so I commend you on it. So what advice would you give to young people? How can they begin to live a legacy life right now? Like they don't have to wait until they're 50 or about to die on their deathbed. Like you can literally live a legacy life while you're young.
Yes.
How can you do that?
I think that it's really important to very first and foremost shift that perspective a bit to understand that everything that you're going through is a learning experience. I think it helps you really acknowledge the journey much better. It helps you value what doesn't go well, what doesn't go right, and it more prepares you. It better prepares you to see opportunities to leave a legacy. When you realize that you've been learning your entire life, you're much more likely to feel ready whenever on paper you're probably not. And so whenever you feel ready and prepared, you can have foresight and have vision for these opportunities for you to really start planting seeds. You know, when we started Petal, oh my gosh, it feels like we went to the business school of the streets, you know, business school of hard knocks, because it's just so many learning opportunities and things didn't go how we wanted them to, and some things went better than we thought they ever could. But what was really the most important thing is that we constantly saw opportunities to capitalize on what we knew we had been learning the entire time. And so the hardest thing is to start. It is the utmost hardest thing. But if you can just put yourself out there, gather one, humility, but on the other hand, the courage to withstand ridicule, you can really do a lot, an invincible amount. And the faith of a mustard seed will take you a long way. So honestly, in summary, understand that you're learning every day. Understand that there's always opportunities to sow seeds, and just do it. I hate to promote Nike like that when they're not paying now. Just go ahead and just start.
Nice. Well said. Well said. So we want to also transition into our rapid fire question section. So these are designed to get to know you better. So we want to know, with the emergence of online schooling and even the schools being closed in our state of New Jersey because of Corona, do you think that eventually brick and mortar schools will be irrelevant? Will they go out of business? Or do you think they are here to stay?
I think that they're going to decrease in relevancy, but I don't think they're going to go out of business at all. I think that even now it's really difficult to replicate face-to-face value. You know, this is awesome, but it would be even cooler if we were sitting right next to each other, right?
Right.
So I think it's going to be difficult to fully replicate real life in a virtual setting. Just how, you know, we can stream church every week, but you can't you can't replicate that feeling of being right there in the sanctuary, patting your neighbor on the back and saying whatever you just got told to say. Right. So
smelling that breath. Yeah,
that breath, it hits where it hits, So I don't think brick and mortar is going to go out of style, but it will decrease in relevancy, and which is probably for a good thing. I think that'll increase access to education.
So with virtual reality and all this technology, do you think it's a disservice to society, or are you anti-technology, bro? Let us know.
I'm so for tech. I'm very much for tech. But I do believe in reality. And reality can have a lot of value. And I think there are further and more intangibles that can take place in reality, unexpected outcomes that can lead to large outputs, as opposed to a more calculated virtual experience.
Nice. So if you could live anywhere in the world, rent-free,
so hard.
Where would you live?
It's so difficult.
You got to pick one place. You can't say Wakanda.
I would never say Wakanda. Real place. I just said I'm for reality. Let's see. I mean, just off rip, I think I would hope that I'd be able to move this around like every few months, get the different experiences. But I think it would be very interesting to just live right smack dab, rent free, in the middle of Times Square, just to see what's going on. Just get that full experience for like a good month, and then keep it moving. I'd love to just take that around the place. Nice. The rent-free part is really the biggest call. So I got to take advantage of that rent-free. I got to go where the rent's just the highest.
Right. So if we want to connect with you and the work that you're doing with Petal, how can we connect with you on social media?
Well, first off, I would be honored if you and viewer, whoever is watching, really appreciate it if you'd like to connect. And my DMs are always open. You can always hit me up. I'd love to talk. You can connect with Petal at We Are Petal. That's WeArepedul. We Are Petal. That is the Petal's official Instagram. And you connect with myself at Chisa Maine. That is ChisaMayne. So hit me on Instagram, on Twitter. Obviously, if you want to hit me on Facebook, you can do that too. I'm not there as frequently, but you can definitely still find me. Chisa. My last name is Egbelu, Egbelu. So don't be a stranger.
Yeah, y'all hit him up. Listen, I follow his page, and he has some inspiring, engaging, and entertaining content. What? Check out his 2 latest videos about the coronavirus. Yes. It is hilarious. And so you truly have a gift to communicate stories and to share content.
Thank you.
So I affirm you for using your gifts to inspire and to uplift other people. And so you all check out Petal. And check out the good work going on and hit him up. Don't be a stranger. He won't bite. And we want to encourage you all to spring into purpose, just like Chisa is doing. So thank you all for tuning in to our Empowerment Week. And we pray that God will continue to bless you in all your endeavors. So y'all go ahead and spring into purpose. Peace.
Bye.
Dream.